Hello, welcome to Oz Scalemodeling and welcome to part 14 of our Revell Platinum Edition Queen Mary 2 Ocean Liner build. And if you hopefully watched the previous part in the series, and you would see that we've probably finished up where I'm at now. Fortunately, I didn't get a lot done during the week. It's now Saturday and I'm working on getting this done, so you'll see the other side of the superstructure is all finished. I'm just trying to get this done, as I would have mentioned I was going to do. Just been busy with other things. So I've got the balconies on there. I need to put all these on here yet. These I've painted, and just got to do the black lines on these smaller ones. So these I'll have done in the next hour and on here. And then what we'll do is we'll be then moving on to that'll include step 22, 23, and we'll into step 24 where this gets put in. But we need to have a look at some lighting issues that I have to think ahead about, and accessing some wiring up for the lighting. But anyway, yeah, so I'll get these done and we'll come back and have a quick look at it. And please hang around, I'll be back shortly. Okay, hello, welcome back. So let's have a look. We've got the ship back down on the bench here. And what I've got is to show you. So we've got all these balconies done on this side. See that all nicely done. I'm happy with them. Come really well. So that is going to go just roughly. I'll just get it in where it's going to sit. It will be something like that. Okay, that's going to go in there, and then this side here, all our balconies. This will go in here, like that. Now I know this one won't stand up straight, so what I'll do is I'll just put this across here for the moment. No, I'll try something a bit heavier. All right. Okay. So now, I mentioned a moment earlier was about the wiring for the LEDs. So what I need to do is up on this deck here, once we start doing that, well, for instance, here, there's going to be another little swimming pool, a small little splash pool, which will need LEDs in it. No problem, we'll run them up through the deck into there. That'll be no problem. But then up on here, there's another pool on the top here, and that's going to need more, I say LEDs, I mean fibre optics, going to go up into that, which again, anything with fibre optics is easy. It's just a matter of threading them down into the hole there where all the LEDs are, or even just into this area here, because this strip of LEDs, which we have, just show you about knocking everything everywhere. Anyway, the strip of LEDs here they are there, and they're just running all the way down the length of the ship to light up all these balcony windows. So all I need to have is fibre optics coming up here to there, as I want to light the pool up the top. Now, also up on the top is the funnel, which is going to be lit up on each side. And at this stage, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. The fibre optics, running fibre optics up there is not going to be bright enough. They're more for like if there were just little lights up there, but they're actually lit up on the side of the funnel. So I may use actual LEDs to run up to there. Also, a couple other spots up on upper decks that are going to need lights put up there. And of course the Queen Mary 2 writing that's along the top. So let me see if I can show you what I mean. And it's a bit, yeah, so this part here, that there is Queen Mary 2. That inside there needs to be brightly lit up with LEDs, and I'm going to make that glow by, well, we'll see how I'm going to do that. There's also probably some lights to be put over here as well. So basically what I'm getting at is that before I put these permanently glued into place, which is the actual next step I need to do, I need to, and I'll move them out of the way now, is run some wires up, because it's very hard for me to get inside here and solder onto that LED strip wires that I want to come up to the higher decks with these in the way. These aren't, it's too much in the way. So what I'm going to do is on the very end of the LED strip, I'll put a couple of wires there. I'll run them off so we can run them up further. And I will probably also add a couple of wires here. Now I know I've been using the red wires, and further down in the hull I've been using the white ones. And I'm going to use more white wires. I've got plenty of white wire here, mainly because I don't want to be able to look through the windows and see a red power wire going through inside, behind these. So I want to use a white one that you won't be able to see. I'm sure I'll route it through and hide it as best I can anyway, but it's just make it a little bit easier having a white one. So what I'm going to do now will be solder those wires on, make sure I've got more than enough length that I need, and then I'll be able to come back and glue these in. Now also there's a couple of sections, so there's a piece that sits across here that this connects into. There's also at this end, where this connects onto the end here, is also a couple of pieces. So I've already taken them off the sprue and I've coloured, undercoated them, and literally 5 minutes ago I did the gloss white. So I've done them white. So they'll be done in a couple of hours, give them a couple of hours. So some of those need to be put in place, as we can see on instructions. Where are we? So that will be for, see, at the moment we've done step 22, 23, this is 24, so you can see there's a piece in there that needs to go on, and we've got a couple of bits up at the front of the ship that need to go in as well. This part here needs to be taped in for some reason, not glued in, probably because it might need to be moved a bit. I'm not sure. I'll have to go in and find out about what the story is there. And then, of course, going on after that, there's this little area behind where the pool is here, and then it goes up to where the next little spa or little pool is there. Again, I've got all these painted white drying. This will be different. This will also be probably need decking and so forth. There's a lot to be done, but that's a couple of steps on. All right, so now it's a matter of just working out the wiring. So we'll come back and have a look at that. Okay, back in a second. Okay, welcome back. So what I've done is I've soldered that onto there. So I've got an extra power wire to go up if I want to add some more LEDs. I've done the same to this end here and connected that up. And I think that one there I've measured so that will go up to where the Queen Mary 2 needs to be lit up. And what I've decided to do was I will use some actual LED strip, so I can cut this off here so that there'll be 3 LEDs in the piece, and I'll use that inside the plastic that'll create plenty of light to go through the plastic and light up the Queen Mary 2 sign, but that's later on. But got to think in advance. I've tested everything. The soldering connections are good. I'll just plug it in, just show you. Well, there we go. So there we go. So there's our lights down in the hole. There's our light along here for the superstructure. These have power going to them. I've tested those, so we'll have power going up into the rest of the ship. And yeah, it's looking good. Right, so I'm going to go and get these pieces that I painted. They should be dry now. And I'll just double check everything, and then I'll go through and see if we can start putting these sides on. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, so I've test fitted everything, and it's all looking pretty good. I've just worked out on the front here, so what we have here, if you can see, is in here we have a lift or an elevator that goes up to different levels, and it's got a sort of a tinted glass over there, over it. I want to put a light in there. So to do that, I figured out that this little LED will fit in there like that, and then I can run one that side and one that side. But in here, at the base of the lift, I had to cut that out. So I drilled a hole through there and just folded it out a little bit. So we'll have the light be able to come up through that into the lift shaft behind the glass. This all fits on, it's all been tested. And that will go straight on there, no problem at all. And there's another piece here that will sit in there. That will go sort of like that. So it all works out. It's a little complicated little setup, but it does actually all fit well. There's no gaps, nothing. It's really nice. These wires I'll just have to run down and power them probably off the LED strip here. So I might join them onto that. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll join them together and then together onto that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And then at the other end of the ship, bring it right through. Just move the camera around a bit. Alright, so this area here, this piece has been put in, and I've done like they said. I put a bit of masking tape there to hold it in place. This sits in there, that sits nice and flush. Now what I have noticed that this side is a little bit higher. This side sits flush with the side of the hull, but this one, it's up about a millimetre and a half. And there's nothing I can do about that. I can't push it down. I don't know why it's up higher, but this is the odd side of the ship where I've had most of my problems. So it should be okay. I'll see how we go. If anything, I could just file that down a little bit, get it to sit flush with the top of there, without it affecting the window that's going to go in the top there, with a piece of glass. So the LED strips have been threaded through there. That all fits fine. In here, we're on to the next level, which will be this one here. That'll have wood decking on the front. It's already been sprayed white, and that will simply sit down in there, which I've already tested. And I also found out I have to be careful where my fingers go, because I knocked out about 3 or 4 pieces of my photo etch railings around the pool without even realising it. So I have to be careful. So that will go on there, and then this section here will go in there, which it does, and it's just a matter of building up. On that level will be a small little spa pool, and I don't know where the piece has gone for that. have it here. Actually, it's still on the sprue. I haven't touched that yet because that's a way off. But yeah, now there will be enough light, I think, from the LEDs coming through the hole in there to light that up. And of course, for the fibre optics for the pool, that's no problem. I can run that straight down, back through the hole and into anywhere here, because this is all going to be lit up LEDs as well. So, going well, going well. I'm just making sure before I permanently connect this that everything else is all right. There's still a lot of stuff to go on the outside here, which going by the instructions gets all put on after, but then I have to be careful because this is the Platinum edition, and with it comes all the extra photo etch and so forth that I don't want to be caught with something I can't do because something's in the way. But we should be good. We should be right. Okay, so I will continue on and we'll have a look at where I'm at next. Okay, back shortly. Hello and good morning. It's about 6 a.m. here. I've got an early start on the model. And I've finally got the LEDs connected that are going to go into the base of the elevators on the front, or the lift. I guess that depends what country you're in. Here we say a lift, but anyway. So what I've done is I've soldered the wires to the end of the LED strip. There's two LEDs running down in here and up here and then out each side, and they will sit in under there, which will fit because I've already tested it, so not a problem. So they'll sit under each corner. Now we'll just do a quick, I've already tested the light, but I'll just show you with the lights on. Just plug that in for a sec. Here we go, we've got lights on. And there's our LEDs there. So they're working, that's the important thing. And I've also have a spare wire here, which will run up to where I want some other LEDs in the pool, not the pool, up in the where the Queen Mary 2 sign needs to be lit up. And we've got another lead down here for another section on the rear of the ship. So that's all good. I've got that running through there. So now I'm ready to put the sides on of the superstructure. I just have to do a just check on these. There's some of the little pieces that go on the back here. Need some wood decking to go on as well. Some of these I've just reminded myself I have to paint the underside black because this is with the little spa, little pool goes on the back, and I don't want, even though there's wood decking on there, I don't want light bleeding through the wood decking. So I'll paint the underside of that black. I don't think it will anyway, but because there's not much light under there, but I will anyway just to be safe. So yeah, we're making a bit of progress here. So I'm going to glue I'm going to connect, put on the superstructure now, get that all attached, and we'll come back and check that out. Okay, back in a second. Okay, welcome back again. So, from a different angle here, you can get an idea of how this is looking. So, all of this is just dry fitted, just sitting there. I'm about to glue those in. I've checked everything. Everything fits really well, surprisingly. So I've got all my wiring for other areas all in there. These two here, which are going to the base of the lift, what I've decided to do is I painted the LEDs blue, so they're with a clear metallic blue. So I'll just add a bit of different colour. Now I know that the lifts on the actual ship, their glass is tinted very black, and probably won't be able to see this at all. It depends on how black I get that glass tinted. but that's okay. And there's other areas down the other end of the ship here that have blue as well as on the top. So but I'll keep that paint handy. So yeah, so basically now I'm going to glue these in. I'll put a couple of heavy books on top and let them sit until they're in place, until they're not going to go anywhere. There's my LED strip you can see down the center. I've also got a centerpiece here which it goes across there. It's also a brace which my LED strips run through. So it's all good. I'm happy and confident that now's the time to glue this on. While that's all gluing, drying, what I'm going to do is get some wood decking down on some of these. Some of this still needs a bit of, I need to gloss white paint this on top of the stairs there. See? And the back of this will be black, just as a light blocker. And yeah, so there she is so far. We'll take it right around and have a look at the stern of the ship. The pool decks and everything looking really nice. Obviously there's more to go up here yet. And that's all, once all this is on, I'll be able to start working on these areas up here. I've left the wire out underneath here with the first LED on the strip right just in the entrance there, so that will create enough light in here to light that up, as well as the fibre optic that will run down from the little swimming pool, which is here. So that little pool will have two LEDs in it, two fibre optics like I had with the others, and there's a piece that goes under it, but then that will go on top. So that's going to sit, so I'm at the end of the line, but that's going to sit pretty much like that somehow, with more lights. So yeah, it's coming on well. All right, I'm going to go glue this. Okay, back in a sec. Oh, okay, sorry, I bumped the camera. Okay, so what I just wanted to point out is if you're building this model and doing the lighting, similar to I am, and you want to run an LED strip all the way down the center here to light this up, which is probably the best way, there's a part which is J36. Now, J36 is this loose piece in here. You can see this. Just more. See what that is. So that piece, I've got the LED light running through that. Otherwise it would be in the way and you can't sit the strip down flat. So you have to run it over the top of that. Which means you need to have this piece in there before you put these on. But now in the instructions, we're on step 24, which is, you can see here, about the glare. 24 is putting all that in. But if you turn over the page, it's not until the next step over the page, there's our missing piece there, J. So the idea is to have that in first, because if you put all this together in the previous step and then you come to this, you will be too late. You won't be able to put that LED strip through it. Well, it depends. I mean, if you want to unstick it, because I've stuck that all down with double-sided tape, and pull all your wiring out and then thread it back through again and redo it, then you can do that, but yeah, it's a bit hard. So it's always important to look ahead, go through your instructions and plan out what you're doing, especially when you're doing things that aren't part of the build, like lighting, for example. Okay, so now what I've done is, let me show you this. So this is a little section that goes on the back, and I put down the wood decking on that, and those windows will go on there. There it is there. That will go on there. I'm going to put some acetate, which I only just this second thought about, or I would have forgotten to do it. So I can cover the backs of these, so we've got our reflection of glass in there. So that'll go on there. Then we're going to put on the front, now, just sort that out. Right, so these are glued on now. They're all glued on and they're fit in position perfect. Really happy with those. Now, what I have to do now is put these on once I position these lights in here. I haven't decided how I'm going to stick them in there. I may use, actually I might just glue them down. Not sure how that will work. I'm pretty sure I might be able to glue them down. Otherwise I'll put some tape. I'll use the Gorilla Tape, which is really strong, to hold them in position. And once they're in, this will go down over the top and sit on there, and then we'll be able to put this in, which goes that way, and that will slot down into there, and that will be the finish of step 24, I think. Yeah, that's it for step 24. And we'll be over to 25, which is doing what I've already made a start on, putting that decking down on that, putting that in. There's a couple of glass window frames to go on the superstructure there, and that will practically be done. 24, we'll move on to 26. Okay, which includes the other pool, which got painted at the moment and drying. Okay, let's just have a look at this from the side angle. Starting to show a bit of height in the ship now. All that on. Starting to look like the Queen Mary. Yeah, it's coming up really nice. Of course, there's a lot to go. In fact, even at this point, I would say I'm not even halfway. Not even halfway through this build yet. There's a lot to go on. But I'm enjoying it. That's the important thing. Okay, so welcome back again. I'm just working on this the deck that sits on here. What I've done is, because that LED light is right on the edge there, this piece in here will cover that, and I do want some bit of extra light coming up into here. So what I've done was I just cut out a little bit there in the back, so that that'll allow some light to come up. And this will all be enclosed anyway, so that's going to sit in there like that, which it does. Press that there, press that there. Yeah. Now the whole piece is actually bent or warped a little bit, I noticed, because there's nothing stopping it from going in, but it's these ends here that aren't, they're sticking up. So what I'll do is I'll glue that down anyway, it'll be fine. Make sure it's held down for a while and do the center. So once that's on, that'll allow just a little bit more light to get up into here. Now in front of that, we'll go this, and that's going to sit right there like that. So I'll do the acetate on the back of those there to give the glass effect. And as you can see, we won't be able to see in there much anyway. And then on top of that, we have this section here, which obviously is going to put all wood decking across here. There's a little spa, a little pool there, and that has all railings and everything. We've got to do the water effects like we have in the other pools, and fix all those up. And it will sit, I haven't tried this yet, see if that's going to sit where it should, and it will sit like that. A little lip at the back sit up on. There it is. Okay, well, that'll be fine. That'll be good. And because there is light beneath, light under there, I did paint the underside of that black. So we won't get any light bleeding through on the deck. That will sit in there. Just like that. Yeah. Alright, that's good. I just need to trim. There you go. So there's a couple of bits of the sprue nubs in there that I completely didn't even trim off. I'm wondering why I don't sit properly. Okay, not a problem. I'll fix that. All right, so that's my video. That's enough for today and part 14. Thanks for watching. Please comment down below if you've got any comments, suggestions, tips, thoughts, whatever. And happy to read all the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Go back and watch the whole series from part 1 and the unboxing if you wish. And give us a thumbs up, of course. We always like seeing thumbs up. And I'll see you all in the next part, which will be part 15. In part 15, I can say that we will be working on this pool and this whole deck area here, putting all the photo etch, including there's some railings that go around on here. There'll be railings that go across on here. Lots of bits and pieces there for the part of the Platinum Edition. And then we'll be moving on to, well, that will incorporate step 26. Doing that, and then on to step 27 will be at the bow of the ship, and we put all the front windows in there. I think there's a library in there and so forth. So hopefully all that's going to go on nicely. I'll need to paint those, test the light, what light we can get in behind there, and work on that. Okay, so again, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you all up in the next video. Okay, bye for now.